Welcome to week 5 and 6 video for OCS. I'm so glad you're here. So as you can see, I'm wearing a blue ascot now, and we do have the blue background. It's because we faced up to blue phase. And what that means is that we just have more privileges that we can have while we're here at OCS. So we can go to the PX with our friends. We don't have to march their information. We can go to the movies. I actually just watched Deadpool with my friends. I just got back. And we can we have our phones now too. We can use them after duty hours. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, it's just more freedom that we have as opposed to when we were in blackface. But let's talk about week 5 too, so I can tell you guys what we did this week. Last week. So for week 5, we learned about call for fire. So, they taught us how to call up a call for fire for like grid, polar, stuff like that. And we also learned about operational terms and tactics. So, like the positions when you're moving into like a squad wedge formation, and stuff like that. And then we also learn about TLPs, so troop leading procedure. If you have not learned about that, I definitely recommend learning about it and familiarizing yourself with it before coming here. But let me show you the book that I read before I went to BCT. Book that I read the Infantry Platoon and Squad. I read this before I went to BCT, and it has a bunch of good stuff in here. So it talks about like characteristic of defense, of offense, TLP, and the 5 paragraphs of the OPORD. So I took some notes from them. So that way on week 5, when we were doing the briefing, I wasn't really unfamiliar with the stuff that they were talking about. It was just kind of like a refresher. And then also, same week on week 5, on like Tuesday and Wednesday, we just did we had a history retest review. So if you didn't pass history for the prior weeks before this, you're gonna have a chance to have a review with Dr. Campbell. A lot of people said it was helpful. And it did help a lot of people to pass history tests. So if you're worried about that, I think it's gonna be good. We didn't have a lot of people fail the second one. So yeah, I think you'll be fine. And then after that, on Wednesday, we had the branching fair. So a bunch of officers just came in the classroom, and they just talked to us about their jobs as an officer in specific branches. So if you're still kind of unsure on which branch you're going to choose later, they can go ahead and let you know all about their positions in those jobs. So I know like infantry was there, ADA, signal. I'm not sure if MI was there. I think they weren't, but maybe they will when you get here. I'm not sure. But yeah, they do. We also had our battalion commander there too, as well as the battalion command sergeant major, and they were very helpful with like answering any questions we had about literally anything and everything. So that was nice. And then on Friday, so Friday is gonna be really, really busy for you, because Friday we had to wake up at around 3:30, and that is because we had a 4-mile run. Okay, a lot of people are worried about the 4-mile run, as reasonable, because the 4-mile is a big hurdle that a lot of people have to pass in order to continue with OCS. So for that, we had waken up at around 3:30, like I said, and then we walked down a different track than the one you're gonna have at OCS. So we went to like a different track with only 4 laps that you have to do to finish 4-mile. So which was easier, honestly. But I do recommend you drinking a lot of water before doing the 4-mile, like 2 to 3 days before you even do the 4-mile, because we had a couple of heat cats during the 4-mile. And it's very, very serious. So please take care of your body before you go to do the 4-mile, and you should be good after that. So we had like a couple of retests, but honestly, most people pass that. So I think you'll be fine. Like if you get here prepared, and make sure you can run 4 miles before you get to OCS though, because there's not going to be a lot of time that you can practice that only because of the schedule, and we're very busy here. So make sure you're able to run 4 miles in under 36 minutes. Either a female or a male is the same standard. So make sure you can do that. And then same thing, same day is the history battle analysis class. So what that is Dr. Campbell will kind of give you a class on how to do the history analysis, the history battle analysis. So you're gonna have to like write a analysis of a battle history that somebody had written, and then you're gonna kind of analyze what went wrong. But you have to write it in a memo format. So you're kind of learning two things in one. So you're learning about how to write a memo format, and then you're learning how to do a battle analysis, and you're putting it all in one that you're going to have to remember and memorize for you to be able to write it the next week on week 6. So same day, still on Friday, is our inspection. So from black face to blue face, you're gonna have an inspection where the cadre goes to your room, making sure it's clean, and they're gonna ask you a couple of questions, making sure you are knowledgeable with the stuff that we do have to learn during OCS. So what those are, that would just be like the chain of command, 5 paragraphs of the OPORD, principles of patrolling, characteristic of the offense, and stuff like that. Nothing really out of the ordinary, something that we just have to learn before doing the inspection. That way, when we do the white face inspection is when the battalion commander and the battalion command sergeant major comes here, and even if they ask us any question, it's just for us to prepare in order to be able to answer those questions that they may ask. And then same day still on Friday is they gave us an OPORD, platoon OPORD that we had to flip into a squad OPORD. So we had to do that during the weekend. So, at the end of the day on Friday, they gave us an operation order, and then we just kind of had to write it in our OPORD shell in a squad format, because that's what we're going to have to brief the next week. So coming into week 5, Saturday and Sunday, honestly, a lot of people went out because that was our first week having freedom, myself included. So we went to like Panda Express and we went to the small PX just with our friends, and just do whatever you want. Just please don't get in trouble, and just don't do anything like that could get you in trouble or your company in trouble. Just follow the rules while you're out there, and you're gonna have fun still. And then on week 6, so let's talk about week 6, right? I had great news actually in the beginning of week 6. Let me show you guys. Okay. So let me show you this. Okay, so this website right here, I became an ambassador of this website. It's called Torch Warrior Wear, and they sell like different clothing for women. So as you can see, they have like short sleeve, long sleeve, and they're honestly so freaking cute. As you can see, they're bodysuits, so they're very easy to tuck in. They're not gonna come off or anything like that. If they're good if you're in the Army, Air Force, and Space Force, and you can use my code, which I'm gonna type up here. It's gonna be Lalaine10, Lalaine 10, and that should give you a discount when you do buy that. But yeah, that's what I had for week 6, beginning of week 6, which is super, super exciting. So I hope this helps for you guys. Okay, so that's week 5, right? So starting week 6, we did turn in our OPORD that Monday at 7 a.m. And then that's when we begin doing the OPORD briefing. So you're gonna be, so what we did, I'm not sure what other companies do. What we did is that we just kind of briefed it with a cadre. So it'll just be yourself, a cadre, which is the grader, and then you're just gonna have to do it then. And honestly, it wasn't super hard. Just make sure you familiarize yourself with what you're talking about. That way you're not like looking down in your at your shell the whole time you're briefing it. Make sure you memorize what your scheme of maneuver is. That way, even without your shell, like you're able to pinpoint like where your people are going to be moving, right, during the mission. And then during week 6 as well is when we did the warrior tasks and battle drills. So we just had to clear weapons, disassemble them, assemble them, and do a functions check. So you're gonna have to do that with M4, 240B, and 249s. Honestly, it's gonna be intimidating. Like for myself, I've never seen those type of weapons before, except the M4 at BCT. So at first I was kind of like scared, but honestly, just put your hands on it. You know, there's gonna be a lot of in-service people that are gonna be on there that will be super, super helpful. So just ask them questions and they should be able to help you. And then we also had to assemble a radio, put it on single channel plain text, and put in the frequency number that they have given us. And then we had to do a salute report. We had to care for a casualty and then do a 9-line medevac. So make sure you know you know how to do those stuff, and they're also gonna like show you how to do it. So if you're not, like if you're unfamiliar or you've forgotten about it, just bring a notebook and then you can just write things down while they're teaching you how to do it. And then what else? That's pretty much what we did the whole week of week 6. So if you knock those out really quickly, you're probably gonna have the rest of the week just for yourself working on your battle analysis that you're gonna work on and get tested on that Friday. So on Friday, right? Fast forwarding to Friday, because that's all what we did, is the history battle analysis test. So you're gonna go to the classroom at like 8 a.m. You're gonna bring your laptop, your charger, and your CAC, which is your ID. And then you're gonna go into the classroom. They're gonna give you 2 hours to write your battle analysis. No notes, so please don't cheat. There's gonna be a bunch of cadre walking around. Just remember your stuff and just make sure you study before you get there. And then just type in whatever is in your mind, like whatever you memorize, just type everything and make sure the formatting is good and you'll be fine with that. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we did for week 5 and 6. If you have any like pay issues or anything wrong with your CAC or your laptop, this will be the time to do it, because like I mentioned, it's very low tempo. We're not doing a bunch of stuff. If you knock out your stuff fast, you can go to your room and just work on whatever. And then if you need anything for sticks, which is going to happen on week 7 and 8, make sure you order them at this time. That way they do come here before you get to the field next week. So, I'm talking about like tarps, I'm talking about ear pro, eye pro, mosquito net, inflatable pillow, inflatable bed, whatever you may want at the field, order them now. That way they'll come by the time we go to sticks next week. Which, speaking of which, I'm really nervous about. I hope everything goes well with us, with everybody, and we can just pass sticks and then just move on. And it's just going to be a slow ride from there, because we're going to be finishing up like after sticks is going to be all academics, I think. So yeah, that's like the last big thing we have to do. So wish me luck. If you have any question, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and then I'll find some ways to answer you guys while I'm here. But that's all. Bye.